Well, not how I wanted to start my 2025. I was just laid off. This is actually the first time I've ever been laid off, so I don't really know what to even do or how to process anything. I just dropped off my laptop. It sucks the most because I seriously was only at this company for 2 months. I literally got this job in October and loved every single second of it. Unfortunately, the company was acquired and a lot of us were let go. Nothing you can do about it, but it definitely sucks. I have no idea what I want to do. I don't know if I want to even keep working for a company or what. I got my real estate license back in early October. I'm like, maybe I should just pursue that. But I also really liked the idea of having like a stable income with a job. I'm also getting married this year and have lots of expenses, so yeah. I still know it's going to be a great year. Like, I'm truly trying to be positive. I know everything happens for a reason, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Hi guys, welcome to another video. Sorry about coming looking like this. I feel a little bit sick. I'm not so well, but I wanted to talk about this video because it caught my attention. And I mean, I've been saying, or bringing you videos of how pumped people are regretting whatever that they voted for because they thought they were going to get things that are better for them with the voting of the person that they wanted to be in power. But then here we are. Recently, Trump signed to revoke the DEI thing that has been going on, where there's inclusivity, and that word I think is what triggered a lot of the PAN people because they felt like this thing is mostly favoring Black people. And I got to look at the videos that I saw online. Most people didn't even understand what DEI meant. They just thought it's something that benefits Black people. So probably that's why the pump people did not like it. It's just like they did not like the Obama care. And they turned out to see that, wait a minute, the affordable and Obamacare are the same thing. So we effed up, and they were crying on how it's like so hard for them to get access to medication. I've seen quite a lot of videos where they're crying about prices because their person that they voted for was promising them on how things are going to be cut, how things are going to be better for them, but everything is just in shambles right now.
The fact that a lot of white women thought that DEI meant minority or Black people, that it didn't include them, is the funniest thing to me. Because white women are DEI hires majority of the time. They benefit from DEI initiatives. So the fact that you would vote against your own interests and then get upset that this is happening to you is just like hilarious to me. What do you mean you didn't realize that you were the diversity hire? Like, you're a woman and you think that you have an equal playing field in this game as a white man? The fact that we have this program set in place stops companies from discriminating against you based off your gender. So I just don't understand why you would think that, oh my God, I'm in the same playing field as a white man, because you never will be. You actively voted against your rights to appease white men, and you're going to pay the consequences for that. DEI does not just mean Black people. As a white woman, that also affects you.
Okay, so this is hilarious. I just saw this white lady on here complaining that she just lost her job because she was hired under the diversity, equity, and inclusion program at her work. And you can see she didn't want to say it, but she really wanted to be like, but I'm not Black. But that's not what diversity, equity, inclusion meant. The number one recipient of DEI hires is white women. The number one people who have benefited the most from this whole affirmative action and DEI hired has been white women, 100%. And now all these white women who voted for Donald Trump are going to find out that DEI included them. And I'm sorry, but this is one of the best fuck around and find out moments yet, because these women are the ones who deserve to be fired. I'm sorry, like, if you voted for Donald Trump and you get fired because you were a DEI hire, don't come looking to me for sympathy.
This post reads, veterans didn't know they were DEI hires because everyone thinks DEI means Black. And this is the same thing that happened with affirmative action, because white women benefited the most from affirmative action, but got mad because they thought that people of color, Black people, were getting admitted to college in place of them and didn't deserve to be. And the reason that the propaganda around affirmative action and diversity, equity, inclusion has worked this way is because of racism. And at a certain point, you have to realize that a lot of these people are grown adults who have the ability to look stuff up. Most of these veterans who do vote, most of these people getting into colleges who do vote, have the ability to look up what these actually are instead of listening to a charismatic man on a stage tell them what it means. And again, the reason that the propaganda works is because of the racism.
The real F around and find out moment is here. A lot of people are looking at the Black community thinking that we are the recipients and benefactors of DEI programs and affirmative action programs. And I know affirmative action is no longer, but whenever they hear the term DEI or they hear the term affirmative action, they look to the Black community thinking that we are the benefactor. Now, here's some information for you. The number one recipient of DEI are white women. That is according to the U.S. Department of Labor. And others fall under that group, under the minority group, the ethnic minority. Number one recipient under that group are Latino and Hispanic Americans. Number two are Asian Americans. Number three are Native Americans. Number four, individuals with disability. Number five, veterans. Okay? And number six, the LGBTQ plus community. And guess who comes last at receiving DEI benefits? Guess who comes last? That's right. Black Americans. Black people. Let me also say, you can do a Google search and you will see the primary benefactors of DEI programs are not only white women, but white men, white male CEOs. Those are the ones who have benefited the most from DEI initiative programs.
DEI did not benefit Black people en masse. It benefited a couple of token Blacks. And I'm sorry, y'all gonna lose your little token benefits. But DEI did not benefit the masses of African people. Barack Obama is the first president to use the words diversity, equity, and inclusion in his DEI initiative that he signed in August of 2011, mandating that the federal government take steps to diversify, include, and guarantee equity for minorities. But it was all about the rainbow. That law was about immigrants and rainbow gangers. It was not about Black people. Yes, you have a few Black people who are going to lose some DEI benefits, but we are 42 million. And when we add our African immigrant brothers and sisters in, we're about 45, 48. I'm going to round it up because they always suppress our numbers. I'm going to round it up to 50 million Africans in America. Somebody help me understand how Barack Obama's DEI has benefited Black people in these past 16 years. Help me understand. Affirmative action is not the same as DEI. Affirmative action was destroyed by George Bush in the opening years of the 21st century. He destroyed it. The Supreme Court destroyed it. Affirmative action has not been a governmental priority since Lyndon Baines Johnson. Affirmative action has been dead. Affirmative action been dead. That's why Barack Obama called it diversity, equity, and inclusion. Why didn't Barack Obama call it affirmative action? Barack Obama didn't call it affirmative action because he didn't want it associated with Black people. He didn't want it associated with Black people. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. Let me say it again for the kunocracy in the back. You're fighting for something that was not created to help you. They are distracting you from your main fights. We should be fighting against mass incarceration. We should be fighting against miseducation. We should be fighting against police genocide. We should be fighting against economic apartheid. We should be fighting against homelessness and gentrification. Not Nelly for performing, not Snoop Dogg, not Black History, and not DEI.
DEI is an acronym. People who don't understand the acronym will not understand what it means, so it needs to be explained. Talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion are also very confusing for people who do not understand what the goal is, what the spirit of diversity, equity, and inclusion is. Equity and inclusion are values. They are a means goal to achieve an end goal. The end goal being systems of equality and justice. It's not rebranding to stop calling DEI DEI. We are not giving up anything. We're actually being more clear about what DEI programs are designed to do. They are designed to create systems of equality and justice within an organization, within the behavior of individuals. Doesn't it make sense to use that language? That way, one, it's less confusing. Two, we know what the end goal is. And three, now people have to say that they don't want systems of equality and justice. They have to actually say those words. People can no longer say that it's discriminatory practices. It's not. These are practices for systems of equality and justice. This is just my humble opinion. Let's drop the acronym and say what it really is. These values, equity, and inclusion are the ways that we show up in order to create systems of equality and justice. It's not enough for people who know why this is important. The goal of communication is to make your point so clear that a 5-year-old could understand it. And I think that's what we need to do.
Before I return to Meal Talk, I feel like I have to address the DEI situation. And the reason why I'm dressing it in uniform, because the teachable moment, the executive order affects federal. Just so y'all know that. So when Target went out and got rid of their DEI, they didn't have to do that. Because they didn't do that because the president told them to do it. They chose to do that. So just keep that in mind. So to explain the overall of the DEI, I'm going to use two races, black and white, for example. So let's say after segregation, they was not hiring black people. Even though black people was qualified for these positions, they was not hiring them. So executive order, the DEI came out to say, hey, it's mandated now y'all will have 2 black people in every organization. And keep in mind, the reason they did that because they was not hiring based on merit. Fast forward 10, 15 years, a white person try to get a job, and he doesn't get a job because the 2 slots that's open is for black people because executive orders mandate 2 black people in it. So now this white person feel oppressed. The same oppression that black people been feeling, right? So he says, man, we should get rid of DEI and just hire based on merit, just based on performance. The best person get the job. Black people feeling like the DEI was incorporated because they wasn't hiring based on merit. Right? You get what I'm saying? So when they got rid of DEI, certain white people feel like that's a step up. Because now we just hire based on merit. Black people feel like it's a step back because that was incorporated because they was not hiring based on merit. The crazy thing about it is, as weird as that sound, we all want the same thing. The better qualified person should get the position. It's just history has taught us that's not the case. So now you understand that, right? Now, move that aside. I never felt the effects of the DEI. I never felt like I got a job because I was black. To be honest with you, I felt like I had to work twice as hard and be damn near perfect to get a position and to keep a position. That's just how I feel, and that's not how I feel. That's facts. So when they got rid of it, I don't know if to feel like I never benefited from it in the first place, or to feel like it's going to be 10 times worse now that DEI is not involved. That makes sense? So, and I will say this. There's 2 sides to TikTok, and I'm paying attention to people who keep quiet. Yeah, I'm paying attention. Y'all, you ain't saying nothing about this, but hear me out. Everyone that I'll ever be in charge of, you will be treated equal. With or without the DEI. You hear me? With or without that regulation, everyone will get treated equal with me.
Next time you hear someone say they agree with Donald Trump rolling back all DEI efforts, ask them what it stands for. Say, what does DEI stand for? I had this exact conversation just a few days ago with someone, and they were going on and on about how much they hate DEI and how, you know, someone in their industry, a woman, has a much higher up position than this particular person did, and it was a DEI hire and all this other stuff. I said, what does DEI stand for? I don't know. You don't know what DEI stands for, but you're bitching about it? DEI stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Inclusion. Oh my God. Horrible. Horrible inclusion, a little inclusion, fucking horrible. What we teach our fucking kids. Horrible stuff, all you God-loving people. God forbid we teach inclusion. But seriously though, say, what does it mean? What does it stand for? Because they don't even fucking know. And you know what it stands for? It stands for white Christian straight men being terrified that people are more qualified than them, and they're actually gonna have to work harder to now get the jobs. They're gonna have to work harder to prove that they deserve the job. You know what this person who was complaining about this woman being a DEI hire missed the entire point? She's way more qualified. Way more qualified. That's why she got the job. Not because she's a woman, because she's way more qualified than you, you small fucking white man. That's why. That's why, you dumbasses. Guys, just do a Google. Just learn what DEI stands for before we start complaining about it. And then also just try harder. Work harder. White men don't deserve everything. White, straight, Christian men don't just deserve everything. One thing you must love about Dr. Umar, he's gonna come and say things that you're gonna like or you're gonna hate. And I think he was very open when he said like these programs have not really helped like Black people, and they've only worked for like other groups of people. But then it's more fascinating that as a white person that is in a system that really benefits you, in a system that gives you like an upper hand, you would still want to go and be part of the DEI, where it's like something to help minority groups be able to like be in spaces. And you heard about what the soldier Black man was talking about, that with DEI it was more of like we need to add in like these people to show inclusivity. But then now with this signing that is going on, or what Trump did, now it's going to be more of qualifications. Because then you have to remember, for a Black person to be given a position, they had to work 2 to 20 times more to get access. So now when they remove the inclusivity kind of, let's just add this person on, or these spots are for minority groups, let's add them in. And then it's now about qualifications, it's about like skill, it's about what you can really offer. I guess these people are going to be more shut down. And it's crazy how greedy like someone can really be. Like, you've been having the upper hand, there is like a lot of things that you can access, and then you still want to put yourself and throw yourself in something that does not even have to include you, and a place where your own people are the ones that are hiring. They're the ones that are hiring. Like, that is so crazy to me. Like, every time I see videos about what is really going on in America, I'm like, how is this a world first-class country, as they call it? And they talk about, democracy, they talk about freedom, they talk about all these things, but there is nothing that I'm seeing now that shows anything about free speech, democracy, or peace in any way. They are openly now showing who they truly are. They want to force things on people. They want to shut down on people. They want to show how strong they can be. Their leader that they voted for is really like putting a lot of what they've been keeping in the closet, and he's bringing it all out. And we are just like, wow. And I think that's why they like took him out the first time when Trump, was president. I think the reason why they really didn't want him to go for the second time is because he was showing who they really are as a people. And they always wanted to keep a big picture of how good and perfect they are as them people. But then with this person who is like, I am white, everything is about my people, it has to be about my people. Now the world, we are seeing, we are like, oh, you guys have been just faking and pretending and putting the propaganda out for trying to like shed other people, but you are actually the problem. You are literally the problem. So now it's coming up in the open, and the ones that are facing the most consequences are them, because they are not used, they've not been used to fighting for things, they've not been used to getting denied or access to things. It is a chaos. They cannot stand it anymore. It's too much for them. They can't. But it's still their fault. They wanted this. Guys, that is it for me, the video. Like, you wish something bad for someone, but then when it comes to you and you're crying about it, you have mental problems. Big mental problems. Guys, that is it for me, the video. Let me know what you think about this. I'll get well soon, don't worry. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.